Hey now, welcome to phase two, the honeymoon. All right, so in the honeymoon, we are going to be talking about the following topics. We'll be talking about self discovery, we'll be talking about the IFS system, and then we will be discussing further about self mastery and self development. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Lesson four. I just realized that I named them the same thing. Cute. All right. This is a different lesson, I promise. So, we invent the world we see, and it means that our perception of the world is shaped by our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. It teaches us that the world we see is not objective reality, but rather a projection of our own thoughts and perceptions. So, this teaching gives us a blank canvas to co create a world we desire through self discovery. If we understand that the world we see is a reflection of our own thoughts and beliefs, we can change our perceptions of the world by changing our thoughts and beliefs. This means that we have the power to create a new world for ourselves based on our desires and aspirations. Now, this is different than what we were talking about with our limiting beliefs in the last lesson. So stay with me. Self-discovery is a key part of this process. And by becoming more aware of our thoughts and beliefs, we can begin to see how they are shaping our perception of the world. We can then choose to let go of the thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve us and replace them with new ones that align with our desires. So, through self discovery, we can also uncover our true desires and aspirations. And when we are clear about what we want, we can begin to align our thoughts and actions with those desires, creating a new reality for ourselves. Now, overall, when I say we invent the world we see, and when I pull from the course, it means that we are becoming aware of our thoughts and aligning them with our desires in order to create a new reality. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Now, self-discovery, our goal here is to become whole and gain full acceptance of ourselves, right? Full acceptance and full love of ourselves. So, self-discovery is the process of exploring and understanding one's own identity, values, beliefs, and purpose. It involves examining one's thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and experiences to gain insight into oneself and one's place in the world. When we talk about getting in tune with our souls, and we're referring to a deeper level of self discovery that involves connecting with our true selves, which is the authentic and unique expression of who we are at our core, the way that God put us here on this rock. Our true self is often hidden beneath layers of conditioning, socialization, and other external influences that can obscure our innate nature and lead us away from our soul's purpose. To get in tune with our souls and connect with our true selves, we need to engage in self exploration and self reflection. And this can involve practices like meditation, journaling, therapy, and other forms of self care that allow us to explore our inner world and gain insight into our deepest desires. Through this process of self discovery, we can learn to live in alignment with our true selves, which can bring a sense of meaning, fulfillment, and purpose to our lives. And it can also help us to overcome limiting beliefs and negative patterns that may be holding us back from living our best lives. So, by going further into the self discovery, it just layers on to our last lesson from phase one, right, of limiting beliefs. Now we need to uncover and figure out who we are at our core. So, in this lesson, we want to talk about, do you know who you are without what you produce, right? Most people don't actually know what they want. They think they know what they want, but they don't know what the underlying emotion or fulfillment would be in order to make them truly happy. We're going to discuss some natal charts and Myers-Briggs, as well as the blueprint to return yourself to factory settings and your one true desire. So, there is a pervasive belief that our worth as individuals is largely determined by what we produce or achieve, such as our job title, our income, or our social status. Now, this belief is often reinforced by social and familial constructs that place a high value on success and achievement and may lead to a narrow and limiting belief of what it means to be a valuable or successful person. Many of us may feel pressure to conform to these societal expectations and may tie our sense of self worth and identity to our external achievements and possessions. We may feel that we need to prove our worth through our work, our academic performance, our social status, our marital status, or material possessions, and may experience feelings of inadequacy or shame if we don't measure up to those standards. To break free from this cycle, we must recognize that our worth as human beings is inherent and not dependent on external factors, achievements, or possessions. We are valuable simply by virtue of being alive and having unique qualities and characteristics that makes us who we are. The divine feminine refers to our qualities traditionally associated with the feminine energy or essence, such as intuition, compassion, creativity, nurturing, and connection to nature. It is often seen as a complement or complementary balance to the masculine energy or essence, which is typically associated with qualities like logic, action, and strength. Self discovery, particularly as it relates to connecting with our true selves and souls, is often viewed as a path towards embracing the divine feminine. And this is because the process of self discovery often involves tapping into our intuition, exploring our emotions, and connecting with our inner wisdom and creativity. Focusing on self discovery and connecting with our true selves and souls, we can cultivate a deeper sense of self worth and identity that is not dependent on external factors. Further, the divine feminine is associated with the idea of the great mother or primal feminine energy that gives life, co creates our creativity. So let's talk about how we can actually use self discovery and what things we can use to kind of get to our factory settings, the way God put us here on this rock. By understanding these factors, you can gain a deeper understanding of your factory settings and leverage them to design a life that aligns with your natural strengths and desires. So let's talk about the natal chart. Your natal chart is a snapshot of the positions of the planets at the time of your birth. It can provide insight into your personality, strengths, weaknesses, and potential areas of growth. For example, your sun sign can give you a broad understanding of your core identity, while your rising sign can reveal how others perceive you. By exploring your natal chart, you can gain a better understanding of your natural tendencies and how to use them to your advantage. There's also the Myers-Briggs assessment. And that is the Myers-Briggs type indicator is a personality assessment that characterizes people into 16 different types based on their preferences for perceiving and judging information. The MBTI can help you understand your communication style, decision making process, and preferred work environment. By knowing your MBTI type, you can leverage your strengths and work on improving your weaknesses, which can lead to a more fulfilling career and personal life. And in conjunction with knowing your natal chart, you now understand uh, your underlying process, like innately how you operate. And by combining these things together, it makes sense where you can say, okay, spiritually, I'm aligned with this, and these are my values, and this is how I perceive things. Now, how do I put that into actionable steps? And that's where the MTBI comes in, or the MBTI comes in. So I want to talk about your moon sign because and I felt the need to talk about this separately because the moon sign is the sign that is who you are when no one is looking. Your moon sign is determined by the position of the moon at the time of your birth. It represents your emotional nature and can provide insight in how you process and express your feelings. Understanding your moon sign can help you develop emotional self awareness, which is an important aspect of personal growth and healthy relationships, especially while we're talking about reaching, aligning to our true selves and reaching and tapping into our divine feminine. How we operate when no one is looking and we're intuitively moving around is very important in order to understand how we engage and how we see things, especially from an emotional standpoint. Another helpful tool is your life path number. Your life path number is calculated based on your birth date and represents your spiritual path and purpose in life. It helps to provide insight into your natural talents, strengths, and areas of opportunity. By understanding your life path number, you can align your goals and aspirations with your innate abilities and passions. And then lastly, I want to talk about your personal values and just going through and asking yourself truly what matters to you. Now, I have a link in for the activities for this lesson that goes to an assessment for each one of these. And I want you to look at this as like the blueprint, the cheat code to find yourself, okay? Before you were modified and had features and things added based on having to adjust to the world's expectations. This is giving you the blueprint of your factory settings, how you came to this world, and then it gives you a good insight of how you started and then what caused you or how you got to where you are today. And it's not saying that it's going to solve all of the problems. But when you have insight of why you react a certain way or why you respond a certain way, it helps you to understand what your triggers are and how to make a different decision if you choose, or how to determine what your personal values are. So, with that being said, let's do a recap of lesson 4. So, in this lesson, we have discussed how to begin to remove our armor and get back to our naked souls. We took a look at our factory settings via natal charts, the moon sign, the Myers-Briggs test, and it provides tons of inspiration to lean into and leverage your talents and experiences that bring you joy. In the next lesson, we're going to discuss your dark parts. Example, your fear, your shame, and your guilt. I do want you to really look at your personal values because they are the principles that guide your behavior and decision making, and they can provide clarity and direction in your personal and professional life. By identifying your personal values, I want you to make choice. I want you to realize that you can make choices that align with your beliefs and create a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Now, by exploring the tools that we discussed in lesson 4, you're able to understand your factory settings and design a life that aligns with your natural strengths and desires, leading to greater fulfillment and happiness. Again, questions, please reach out in the group hashtag factory settings for this lesson. I can't wait to see what you discovered. If you found something new, it's just really getting to know yourself as much as you possibly can, because the self-awareness really is key to going forward with how you make decisions and what is truly aligned with your purpose. I'll see you in the next lesson entitled No Bad Parts. Until then, I wish you all the love and light.